Hello, guys. Welcome back to another video with On Point Politics, your number one stop for all things polling and election analysis in the United States. And we also have Gold Crown Politics on for this short stream. This is mainly a stream to kind of be testing out the new setup that I have. I actually am getting I technically have the mic here, guys. I have it right here. It's a new Rode mic. So it's an XLR, but I need to get the actual interface, which I'll be getting that tomorrow. So the audio will improve from what I have right now. But if you guys are here, make sure to hit the like button. I see that there's about 100 of you guys on X or 100 of you guys on YouTube already. So if you guys are watching, make sure to hit the like button because it will, really be, this will be a good short stream. But I also am broadcasting this to my original YouTube channel, which, if you guys don't know, I'm actually a video game developer. So that's also something that a lot of people don't know about me. And so right now I'm also streaming to them as well. We'll see how many people tune in there, but most of the viewership is going to come from the YouTube here as well as people on X. So make sure, guys, to hit the like button. Everybody that's watching on YouTube, hit the like button. And whoever's on X, make sure to go ahead and interact with the chat. I am seeing them here. Lester, people are saying New Hampshire will flip to Trump. This election thoughts. I think it's going to be pretty close, and Gold Crown can even attest to that too. I think it's going to be pretty competitive. We both have it as like a lean margin right now. If you guys have any questions for Gold Crown as well, you can super chat it. So that would definitely be recommended. Thoughts on new internal polling for Senate Republicans? Doesn't look good. I mean, you could have got a set of polls that may or may not look good depending on who does them. I know that we had some quote unquote leaked internals that they did not want leaked, but those same polls have Trump winning Ohio by 4. Like, are we really going to believe Trump's only going to win Ohio by 4? No, it's going to be a lot more than that. And so you kind of have to take those with a grain of salt. I also, if you guys haven't noticed, I have a new setup. So I have a green screen behind me. I also have some studio lighting. I have a lamp right here I can adjust. I have a LED light here. I have a Rode mic here as well that we'll be using in the next episode. So the lighting will be far better. And I got the background here as well now. So it's going to look I think it looks a lot nicer. And you guys will be seeing fairly soon why I actually need this. Now, I am going to make the announcement here now. I am having Richard Barris, the People's Pundit, on the show on Tuesday. The episode will come out the same day. So that is something that is going to happen this week. So just announcing that right now. I'll probably post it on X as well because we've pretty much already confirmed it already. So I'll be going ahead and doing that as well. But I see that there's a decent amount of you guys in here. Hit the like button. Gold Crown, I kind of want you to go ahead and just talk to the audience really quick and talk about what you're predicting for the cycle, how you're kind of doing it, and what exactly are we both kind of looking at?
Yeah, so this election cycle, I think that Trump is up by much more than what the vast majority believe. I think conventional wisdom would kind of tell you that, really ever starting in 2016, elections are razor thin, right? The margins are really close. And, in 2020, we, of course, saw a razor thin election as well. And so conventional wisdom will kind of tell you, okay, well, the polls have it close. I think that this election is going to be close and, whatever. But the data that I'm kind of seeing and what On Point is seeing as well, we're seeing that Trump is actually up by much more than what people believe, and I think that the majority of the indicators that I'm seeing is that has Trump up by 3 nationally, and if he's up by 3 points nationally, that would mean the nation is swinging about 8 points to the right from 2020, which would produce really big victories for Trump in the swing states. And I look at like the best indicators, like Gallup, for example. They have Republicans at +3 in terms of the way by party, and they have Republican +3, and that it has been historically a really good indicator of the popular vote. Atlas Intel, their last poll in September, their national one, had about 3.5 points for Trump. Rasmussen has about 2.5. And so if you kind of average all those out, it's looking like 2 to 3 points at minimum, right? In terms of the national
Right.
environment for Trump. And if he's up by that much, guys, nationally, it's going to be a blowout. I mean, the swing
Yep.
states aren't going to be close in that scenario. Even if they trend to the left, they're still going to be voting to the right of the nation. And in a scenario like that, I mean, we're looking like, it's going to be like 6 to 7 point wins for Trump in the swing states. And so that's what both On Point Politics and myself are kind of seeing. And we kind of, we have our own individual styles in terms of predicting elections. I typically try to, kind of gauge the national popular vote, looking at, some of those really good indicators that I talked about. I also look at job approval, favorability, kind of account for historical errors and things like that. And then I kind of go state by state and kind of predict the trends, based on past performance in every state, the demographics, things like that. But I've also, and I also weighed the 2024 swing states, and I basically weighed them to their projected electorates. On Point, I know that you do that as well. And it's looking like Trump is up by, an average of 6 to 7 points in all the swing states combined.
Right.
And so if you account for the historical errors, it's looking like a big Trump victory right now. And like On Point and myself, we try to be as objective as possible. I mean, we're not trying to be biased here. We're trying to account for the bias in the polls that are underestimating Trump. And so that's what I'm kind of seeing in this election right now. It's looking really good for Trump. That's really the only way you can put it.
Right. And if you guys want to ask questions, make sure to super chat. Everybody that's on the YouTube right now, make sure to hit the like button because it does help out with the algorithm. I see there's about 218 of you guys watching and there's only 91 likes. So guys, make sure to hit the like button. But when we are looking at this, we see a dollar donation, $5 from Mandorian. Kornacki has been real quiet since you've been at the election map board. Angela says Christians who must vote cannot sit this one out. I mean, yes, that's definitely true too. A lot of Christians, if they really want to have their voices heard, they can't just sit out the election. Now, based on data, a lot of them probably will be voting for Trump. Some denominations do favor Harris, though. Really, the one that does is really atheism, which isn't really considered a form of Christianity. But that's kind of where we're at right now. Medic Knight, Gold Crown, and Lester, do you like Kornacki? I'll answer first. I actually do like Kornacki. I think his style of explaining it on the actual election night is good, but sometimes his takes are just real bad. I mean, I remember that video where he was going over like Hillary 2016. Oh, South Carolina is competitive. Like, all right, bro. But Gold Crown, what do you have to say about that?
Oh, I actually haven't heard of Kornacki, actually.
You definitely know who it is. It's the guy on MSNBC. It's like the younger guy that's like on the election board. If you saw his face, you know who he is. Like he's
Probably.
a very recognizable face in the space. It's not like anybody like super out of place. Les, can we find out results for people who already voted? You kind of can look at the party breakdowns in some states, but you can't really look at exactly who's getting how many votes. Like that you can't see yet. That is not available to the public right now. But we can look at certain numbers. Guys, continue to hit the like button on YouTube. Make sure to comment on X. I wonder how many people are tuning in from the other side of my streaming because I do have that space. So I wonder, basically nobody. I was just curious to see who would join and pop in. It would be kind of interesting, but seems like that's not going to be the case. I mean, again, I'm not going to be streaming for super long. This is just something that I kind of wanted to test out this new setup. I may go for like another 10 minutes even. We'll see. Thank you. Somebody, Jeremiah Johnson says, love the hat. This hat, guys, is actually from Valuetainment, which is Patrick Bedavid and Tom Ellsworth's brand and company. So you guys can buy these. If you were to go on valuetainment.com, you can buy these. They're about like $50 a piece. So if you do want to get them, you could. I like the hat personally. I'm not even sponsored to say this, but I do actually enjoy the hat. And so if you guys want to get the hat and support PBD and Tom and Adam and Vinny, you guys should actually get one for yourself. And we got some things. Obviously, we have, we have the collab on Tuesday coming up with Richard Barris, the People's Pundit. We also have as well, we also got Real American Politics. So he's going to be coming on at some point during the week as well. We got him. And I believe I'm going to be doing something with State of Daniel at some point as well. And then we got one more thing, which will be announced when it's announced, because I cannot announce that yet. It'll be very interesting, and I think a lot of people are going to be very excited about it. It's probably going to be the biggest thing that's happened for the channel. The only thing I can say is that it won't be uploaded here. It's going to be uploaded on another channel, but you guys will really enjoy what happens in that video once I get the green light to basically announce it, or once they start promoting it, then I'll promote it here. But until then, I won't really be saying a whole lot about it. Is Trump coming on? No, that's not what it is. It's not Trump. That's not what's happening. But overall, you guys will definitely appreciate the video when it comes. But we do have a lot of content planned for this week. So that'll be really, really good for the channel and for you guys as well to get some content from the channel too. I know historically the polls always underestimate Trump, but I'd love to hear what your thoughts on whether or not polls could be underestimating Harris. 2022, the midterm polling is a little bit different. It's just there are different cycles, so you can't compare midterm polling. So that's the thing. You can't compare midterm polls to presidential polling because they're different electorates. So that's kind of the problem with doing that. And I do think they are going to underestimate Trump again. Darren, do you follow Depressed Ginger too? We were supposed to do something. It's still technically up for grabs. So like this month, there'll be a lot of collabs. Like we'll be getting a lot of stuff. Like there'll be a lot. Sonic Teal for 5 says, Trump Coachella rally was epic experience of a lifetime for me. That's pretty cool. I'm glad you were able to go. How many people showed up at Trump's rally in Coachella? I actually don't know. Let's see here. Clown World says, have you guys tried to backtest your model past 2016 to like Barack Obama and Bush? I feel like just going back to 2020 leaves room for error. I could go back to 2012, but it would take me a long time to develop the state aggregates. I could try to do the national level if these pollsters have their crosstabs available. That I could do, and I can actually see how close I can get. It might be kind of iffy because the demographic model may not suffice. It depends. I could try 2012 just to see how close I can get with the demographic model and the states, but it may be, there's going to be a little bit more room for error in that. That model will have probably be a couple states off. Possibly. We'll see. We'll see what happens when I do it, but it may be off. Ryan says there was another attempted assassination attempt. Try to sneak in with fake VIP passes. That's crazy, man. That's honestly so sad. That is really crazy. Why did Trump went to Coachella? He should have went to Riverside. It's a better option for the House than the popular vote, but I'm not in the Trump campaign. I don't necessarily know, but I do know he went to California for the popular vote. I mean, that's the only reason why you would be going there. I mean, that's really it. So overall, I'm kind of curious to see what's going on there. But overall, I mean, things are looking good. I actually think things are looking really good for Trump right now, as me and Gold Crown have suggested. I do believe that Trump is up in all the swing states. I do think he is, and Gold Crown would agree with me as well. I wonder if he's still there, actually. I see him muted, but I do believe He's up in all the swing states. I do think that the deep blue states, they will be semi-competitive. Now, are they going to flip? No. Would Biden have won some of the states? Probably not. I think he would have lost Virginia. I think he would have lost New Mexico, Minnesota, New Hampshire, because the national environment we were heading to was just going to be a disaster. Trump probably would have won the popular vote by about 5, but you would have had Kennedy taking a decent amount of the vote, a lot more than people would have thought, actually, like a lot more. You would have had a huge third-party underestimation in the polling data. Donald Trump probably would have gotten about 38% of the vote, something like that. Biden would have been all the way down at like 30-something, and Kennedy would have gotten like 17. There still would have been a couple undecideds. So it would have been a big third-party election. Oh, Gold Crown, I don't know if you heard what I said, but I tested the Atlas Intel electorate from June to my aggregate from June 21st to July 21st, and Trump's like at 38. Biden's like at 34, 33, and Kennedy's like at 17.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he would have done a lot better as a third-party candidate than people thought. Like, he would have done way better. If he got 17%, he probably could have picked off Maine or New Hampshire, to be honest. If he's doing that well in the national popular vote, he probably could have picked off a few states. It depends, but
sure.
it could have actually flipped. It could have definitely flipped. So we'll see. I mean, now he's not even getting, he's probably going to get like 1 or 2% nationally. Probably. He's probably going to get like 1 or 2. A lot of those people defected to Trump and Harris. And then the people that were remaining ended up flocking to Trump. So really, Trump ended up getting a decent amount of Kennedy voters. So that's kind of what we're looking at there right now. But overall, I'd say I'm pretty confident in his chances. I really do think he's up in most of the swing states. I think he is up, or at least competitive in some of the, at least in some of the swing states. I actually do think he is on point. No pun intended. I think he really is on track to do pretty good. Oh man, I saw on what do you call it? Somebody just posted my Senate prediction. Hello?
Hey, I'm here.
Somebody posted my Senate prediction from like not that long ago. It's kind of funny. Man, how old is this forecast? This one seems pretty old. Interesting. One more thing I am going to say. Wow. Oh, wow. And RCP Vance is only down by 3 in favorability. He's at 43% now.
Oh, wow.
That's really good, actually. That's really good.
Yeah.
Because he'd probably outperform his favorability rating too. Wow.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
He would definitely outperform his favorables. So that's really good for him. That is super good. That's like really impressive, actually. It's almost as high as Trump. And his unfavorable is only at like 47.
Yeah, that's pretty
good for him. That's pretty good for Vance. I'm not gonna lie. Those are good numbers. Those are really good numbers for him. Super good. Super duper good numbers. I did hear about the Tim Wall stuff that's been going around on X. I'm not too sure about it. I kind of want to wait until stuff is like confirmed or I see enough evidence. And they're probably not going to announce it on the news. They're probably not going to talk about it because it's going to be counterintuitive to their narrative. And you know how the whole drill goes. So probably not going to say anything about it. We'll see what happens with that. But no, yeah, it's just going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see how the race pans out, because I think by the time we get to like the end of October, we'll have like a good sense of where the election's going to be. We'll have a pretty good idea of where the election's going to be by then.
Yeah, I think so. And typically what you tend to notice is that the polls, they typically get, like the swing state polls, they typically get redder as election day approaches, and it's
already happening. It's already happening.
Right.
The only state, what's funny is that there was a point in time where the exact same thing right now, the same exact thing was happening at some point beforehand where Trump was up in all of the swing states except Wisconsin. Like this literally happened with him and Biden a few months ago. We're like
Yeah.
entering that phase now where Biden was only winning Wisconsin and all the other swing states were going for Trump. Like it's the same map that happened a few months ago in the polling for like a week because Trump started climbing up in the swing state polling and then Wisconsin fell.
Right.
So it's definitely going to be pretty interesting to see how things play out. We may do like a final. I don't think we're going to do a final forecast like a week or two before, but me and Gold Crown may come on a stream or like a video and basically announce who we think the winner's going to be like a week or two before, just because by that point it's already too late. Like if somebody's ahead or going to win, usually it would already be too late, in my opinion, unless there's like a catastrophic event, like if Trump basically gets caught on Epstein Island or something ridiculous like that. Like that's the only way that like really something could change. But honestly, even then, I honestly think if that were to happen, I still think Trump would even have a winning shot at winning the election. I think he'd still be competitive. I don't think he'd win Michigan, but he'd probably win Wisconsin or Pennsylvania. I mean, she's just that bad. It's just that bad. Darth Chipmunk says, bro's about to post a lean D Washington, D.C. I mean, bro, really? Come on. Come on, man. How much is Trump winning in California? He's not winning California. Oh, wow. Okay. Amy Patton for 50. Thank you for the $50 donation. I am considering voting early in person. I am a Democrat from Luzerne County, PA. I am voting straight Republican this time. Damn. Do you think it would be better to vote in person? I'm worried about my vote getting lost. I do suggest you go vote early in person because that's the same thing I'm doing. I'm not voting by mail. Even though I am in Florida, I'm still not even voting by mail because I really don't trust it. So we're going to go ahead. I'll just tell you, you should try to. I would suggest you vote early in person. But thank you for the $50 donation. That was very, very nice. Greatly appreciate that. But Goldcrown, you got any closing comments before we kind of end this off? This was just kind of a stream to like show people the new setup, like what I'm going to be looking like during the streams from now on. And even after the election ends, I'm still planning on doing content. The content depends on how accurate I am. If we're accurate, me and Goldcrown will be doing endless collaborations talking about why certain things happen, breaking things down for everybody. If we're wrong, we'll do other videos talking about why we were wrong, and then we'll correct course from there. But Goldcrown, any closing arguments?
Well, I definitely think, in the kind of closing weeks of this election, it's kind of hard. It's really hard to believe that it's this close. It almost doesn't feel like, the election's really going to happen in literally 3 weeks. But I mean, yeah, it's looking good for Trump right now. That's all we can say. I mean, we're trying to be objective. We're looking at the best historical indicators and things of that nature. And, I mean, we have the potential to be wrong, but I mean, we're doing the best that we possibly can, and we're the only two, guys who are weighing the polls according to their projected electorates and things like that. I haven't heard any other channel who's done that, and we're trying to account for the bias that's going on. But I think regardless, I mean, if I did have to make a prediction myself, I think that we're probably going to be at least much more accurate than the vast majority of forecasters, just because we are accounting for those types of things. But yeah, I mean, Trump's up right now. That's all we can really say. And, we'll have to see what happens in the final, kind of closing weeks of this race. But I definitely think that Trump is up right now. And it's looking really good for him. So.
Yeah, 100%. And I do think like it's funny because everybody, when we say we readjust our aggregates, everybody thinks like, oh, they're actually just adding a number. No, we're literally getting the party ID from all of the polls, and we have a target electorate, and then like they get readjusted through that. More than likely, if Nikki Haley was in the race, you'd probably actually see Biden being underestimated in the polling data. I mean, that's probably what would happen because you'd have a lot of groups that would not turn out for Nikki Haley, that they'd be oversampling in the polling. Like the Biden versus Haley election, Biden would have absolutely cleared Haley. It wouldn't have even been close. I actually would say that Biden would probably end up doing like a 1992 style election defeat. I even think states like South Carolina and Mississippi could be up for grabs for Biden just because Nikki Haley is that bad. And I mean, there is an Alice Intel poll where Biden's ahead by like 20 nationally. He's up by like 18 against Nikki Haley, and that was at the beginning of the year. In the same poll where Trump's up by like 1. So
Man, yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, it's like not even close. And then with Trump and Michelle Obama, there's a poll where she's up by like 3. Alice Intel did it. She was only up 3 nationally. That's not even good enough. That's like on the bubble of it being a competitive race. Like that would have been a 50-50 election, at least at the time. I honestly think that more than likely, probably if that election would have panned out, I think Michelle would have actually done pretty badly. But at the time, it was doing relatively well. So. But all right, guys, that is pretty much it for this. So make sure to go ahead and hit the like button and to subscribe if you want more content just like this. We'll be streaming a lot more now. I actually had to rearrange my entire room to even get this like set up properly. So the streams will look better. I do have like professional lights. You see, like if I were to turn this off, you see it's like way darker. I could turn that on. I can also have this light on, which actually looks pretty cool too. But more than likely, I'd probably like to have both of them on. So if you guys did enjoy this, make sure to hit the like button and to subscribe if you want more content just like this. We will see you in the next video. Make sure, guys, before you end up going, before you go, because I do want to actually really stress this, if you guys are, following the channel and, looking at, us and stuff like that, we are still polling. We are polling. We just pulled Michigan with SoCal Strategies. So if you guys could go ahead in the description down below, we do have a link for you guys to donate to the cause. We still need quite a couple donations to conduct more polls. We're going to have to do a fundraiser stream this week. So there'll be a lot of collaborations and a lot of content for everybody. So we'll go ahead and make sure that we get this done, but we do need your help. So even if everybody in here, the 680 people in here, if everybody just chipped in $5, we'd probably essentially raise almost a decent amount. We'd raise like a decent amount in here. So guys, make sure to go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. And another thing before you guys go, I actually want to show this site, which is VT News. Now, again, I'm not even sponsored to be saying this, and we have to be banning a couple people in the chat because they're saying really weird things. But this site is called VT News. This is Valuetainment's basically news article site where essentially they pretty much look at all of the sources that are covering different topics, and you can see how many sources are essentially, you see about here how many sources are leaning left or right in certain different categories. You can chat with the AI and ask it big news for today. So let's ask big news for today. I have to probably sign in. In order to do it, you get like an estimated time. So again, you see here that you do got a lot of things. Lopsided, you can see which news networks or which stories have a right or a leaning left bias. And on top of that, I actually might be able to pull up their aggregates here. I might even pull that up. VT News Elections 2024. See if they actually have it. VTnews.ai. Here we go. So here we got it. So they have a site where they're basically aggregating all of the polls. Okay, that's not actually LTE, is it? There's no way that's him. That's gotta be fake, right? Yo, look at that gold. Look at the chat.
Yeah, I see.
That's probably an impersonator.
Yeah, probably. So
we see over here, I like your videos. Some Turkish woman is rebroadcasting your videos as her own. Oh, who is the channel? I can report them. I can just report them. It's not really that hard. So yeah, so they have their own aggregator, guys. Like you can basically look at all the states. They have Trump up by 1.4. They actually even included SoCal strategies on their site, which is pretty awesome. So they'll have that there. Georgia, he's up a point. Michigan, he's now up 1.2%. And they only look at like accurate pollsters with decent sample sizes. He's up in Nevada. He's up in North Carolina. Harris is up in Pennsylvania for some reason in their aggregate. And in Wisconsin, he's up. So on the VT News site, he's actually up in all of the states except Pennsylvania, but it's literally a very, very narrow lead. And once that Quinnipiac poll falls out of the aggregate, he'll probably end up taking the lead in the state. So, all right, guys, make sure to hit the like button and to subscribe if you want more content just like this. Tomorrow, I will be uploading videos. As usual, we'll probably be streaming as well at some point during the night. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. I may try to do call-in streams. We'll see. I kind of had an issue last time when I tried doing it, so we might try to go through a little bit of a better process of selecting candidates for doing that. And we'll be having on Richard Barris on Tuesday. I'll probably make a poster announcement for that now. So I will see you guys in the next stream. Gold Crown, any closing comments?
Thanks for having me on this live stream on Point. We'll see what happens in the closing weeks of this election. Should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, we'll definitely be doing more collabs with Gold Crown, guys, especially right before. We'll probably be doing a video together. So, all right, guys, see you soon.